came out this morning. There's been a lot of rumors swirling about the Russo brothers and whether or not they are going to be directing the next two upcoming Avengers movies. So the Russo brothers, directing duo behind the $4 billion epics Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, may be returning to save Marvel, as reportedly they are in talks to direct the next two Avengers movies. So according to, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter, I saw a lot of the big trades reporting it. The Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, all the big wigs was reporting this. Even though the Russo brothers went on um, the Happy Sad Confused podcast and denied that they are in talks. But I'm sure, when is Comic-Con? Is Comic-Con this weekend? If it is, I'm sure we'll probably get the announcement. Hopefully we'll get the announcement who's going to direct X-Men, which I told you I heard it was Brian Coogler. But we got to get a third Black Panther movie before then. But I feel like there's been a long enough break that we can kind of do that whole time jump with Black Panther, and we can make the new Black Panther older, because I don't know if they're going to keep it Shuri. So it says the hiring ends a month-long high-stakes search by the studio for filmmakers to oversee the fifth and sixth Avengers movies. Multiple names were in contention, including Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy, who was offered the gig. Sources say the talks are in early stages. The move also marks the homecoming for Russos, who jumped from the world of TV comedy on shows like Arrested Development and Community to blockbuster movies a decade ago, with Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which I love. And they also did Captain America: Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. And I have to say, all four of those films that they worked on, I love what they brought to it. And it feels like this upcoming Captain America movie that we have with Anthony Mackie, I feel like, and I don't know if y'all saw, but Tiamat is in the trailer too, and I'm looking forward to seeing Tiamat. But anyway, if you know, you know, like J Lo and that damn orange drink. But anyway, but since then, I have to say, when it comes to the Russo brothers, they've been producing other stuff which wasn't really that good, like Citadel. Even though I like the characters over there, who was it? What's her name? Priyanka Chopra Jonas. And oh my god, I forgot the actor's name. The one that played Robb Stark on Game of Thrones. I like him, and he's a hottie too. I heard he was roommates with Charlie Cox. Oh, I wonder what that was like. That'd be some sexual tension up in there. But anyway, so I like them, but the show, in my opinion, was a disappointment. Then they wound up, so it was Citadel, but I will say this, I did like the Extraction movies. I thought those were pretty good. Those should have been released in a theater. But they also did Cherry, which wasn't that good. They also did The Gray Man, which was a disappointment. I didn't particularly like that. And they have another movie coming out called The Electric State for Netflix. So I will say, post Avengers, they've been directing and doing other things, but they really haven't had that same impact that their MCU movies have had, back during, what was it, phase 3. Because I have to say, and I keep talking about it on the show, like post phase 3, there may have been a handful of movies that they've done that I liked. Like I love Shang-Chi. Where's Shang-Chi 2? I didn't particularly care for Doctor Strange. I hated, and I know it's a strong word, I hated the last Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania, did not like that movie. It was like 20 minutes in. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This is a mess. And the Marvels was okay, but it just felt like it was all over the place. It lacked focus. I love Miss Marvel. And I like Captain Marvel too, but I just felt like, and with Monica Rambeau, like I liked all the characters, but I just felt like the movie it felt disjointed. So I was disappointed with the film. So it also says that the fifth Avengers movie was previously titled Avengers: The Kang Dynasty, and they're probably trying to work around that because, Jonathan Majors, and was to star Jonathan Majors as the time-traveling villain Kang, but Marvel cut ties with the actor after he was convicted of assault and harassment in December. Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings director Destin Daniel Cretton was once attached to direct Kang Dynasty, but he departed a month after Majors' conviction. That's because he probably had a whole idea, everything was set up, everything was mapped out, and now that you're not going with Kang, it's like, okay, well, why am I going to stick around and do this? But so they're shifting gears, and now they're getting a new name and a new focus. So we don't know what that is yet. I guess we'll find out when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, and then whatever other things follows that. Because I really feel like that they're going to be using Deadpool and Wolverine as a way to course correct a lot of things that's going on within the MCU. That's what I have a feeling, especially when you got all these different cameos that they're talking about bringing into the whole franchise. Well, Deadpool and Wolverine. And then they showed another picture the other day where they teased Lady Deadpool, what has got a lot of people thinking that it's Blake Lively. I hope it is, and not Taylor Swift. Because I know a lot of people like Taylor Swift is Dazzler. And I know people get all upset about Taylor Swift, at the football game. We just want our football. We want to look at men, being tight ends and all this other stuff. We want that. We don't want her there. Let her do what she's doing over there. But like what I say about Kim Kardashian, stop trying to infiltrate these people into all our other shit. Like, can y'all just leave them over there and let them do what they do and stop trying to always put them in other projects that a lot of us like? But now you got me trying to sound like some of these fanboys that get all upset if y'all put somebody black up or something. Like they was mad over Amanda Stenberg or whatever how you say her name in the Crapalite, because that's what we need to start calling that. Because the Acolyte child, that was just like episodes of my life that I wish I could get back. But they have yet to give me a good damn Star Wars series outside of Andor, because that's the only one I think so far that I like over there. But since they're Disney, I'm bringing it up. So it said the sixth Avengers film is Secret Wars, which is a storyline the Russos have long talked about wanting to adapt. A pair of 1980s comic book series focused on an all-powerful antagonist known as the Beyonder, who in the first installment pitted Marvel's heroes and villains against each other on a planet known as Battleworld. In 2015, Revival served as a climax to writer Jonathan Hickman's own multiverse saga, which has already had elements referenced in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. In Hickman's series, and I have to say, did I mention about Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness? Here's the thing. I like some parts of the Doctor Strange, but I was overly disappointed with that movie as well, simply because it just felt too much like a Sam Raimi film rather than a Marvel movie. And I felt like that could have been a way for them to introduce like the horror aspects of the MCU into the MCU. Especially when it's like, okay, so how are we going to introduce vampires and other supernatural entities into the MCU, especially when y'all keep delaying Blade? Like, what's going on with that? So it says in Hickman's Secret Wars, all of the Marvel's multiverses are destroyed, with remnants surviving on a single planet ruled by the villain Doctor Doom, which I told y'all allegedly is going to be played by Henry Cavill. I heard that too. So Avengers 5 is set for May 1st, 2026, and Secret Wars is set for May 7th, 2027. Now, like I said, I did see the clip. I did put it on my page, on my my regular ChrisAvalon.com page, the clip of the Russo brothers talking to the Happy Sad Confused podcast and Josh Horowitz, who, interviewed them, and they denied that they're in talks, whatever. But I'm sure like when that Comic-Con Marvel panel pans out, when Comic-Con starts, I believe Comic-Con is this week, right? It's this weekend. And then I believe DragCon is next weekend. Or am I getting my days confused? I can never remember. I think DragCon is next week and Comic-Con is this weekend. So with that being said, well, let me know down in the comments which day is which. Because I can't remember off the top of my head. Should I Google Smoogle? When is Comic-Con? When is Comic-Con? 2024. Not now. Not New York. Okay, so it's next week. It's July 25th to the 28th. I think DragCon is this weekend. Comic-Con is next weekend. So when Comic-Con and stuff happens, I believe that's what we'll find out, and we'll know for sure if they are going to be a part of the whole situation. So, and directing. But then again, like I said, I actually hope that they are a part of the whole thing. I would definitely want the Russos to come back, because I told you I loved everything that they've directed I love the tone of the two Captain America movies they did. And I love the tone of the two Avengers movies that they did. So I hope that they actually come back and really help course correct everything. Because here's the thing, I really feel like we're going to start post, once Deadpool and Wolverine comes out next week and everything. So I really feel like this is the catalyst of it's getting the course corrections of what's happened in the MCU post Bob Chapek. We always bitch and moan or whatever, but people have to realize it takes time for us to start to see the results. Same thing with politics. Like a lot of the things that people put into place, you're going to start to see it trickle down. So if it's Biden's next term or if Trump decides to get in office, God forbid, I hope that doesn't happen with the latter. You're going to start to see the ramifications of what they were doing in the prior administration do trickle down into the next administration. But then again, certain Mr. Ego likes to sit and take credit for things he didn't do. So it happens with the movies as well. We're going to finally start to see the turnaround of the MCU, and I'm looking forward to it. So that and the DC, because I just heard that they're almost done filming Superman, so I'm excited. Hopefully, with that, by the time Comic-Con and everything comes around, we can get a little something, something from seeing David Corn Sweat and all of them in action. Because I know they've been filming in Cleveland for like a month, and I think they've been doing like on location shoots or whatever. So they're just about done over there with Superman. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, this is not about DC. This is about Marvel. So what do you guys think? Are you excited to see the Russo brothers to come back and course correct and do the next two Avengers movies? I am a fan of the MCU, and that's why I've been overly critical, because I love a lot of the superhero stuff, and I really want to see MCU get back on top where they belong. Just like I'm looking forward to seeing what James Gunn and the rest of the gang are going to do with the DC and turn things around and course correct and give us comic book fans and comic book movie fans, you know, something to root for, because DC, it definitely deserves to have their own universe of quality superhero movies to rival what they're doing over there with the MCU. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below.